Abdinoor is coming now into the category of the writers in Kenya. This is third book that he's launching today, Youth and Truth, De-Westernizing the Mind. And in this book, you'll all have the copies to read, and you'll understand this art of writing. As they say, the art of writing has two pillars. And the first pillar is having something to say. And number two is to say it. He had something to say for us as the readers. And he has said it through the book, that we'll all read through the book and understand why he is saying that, de-westernizing the mind.
Young brother is not just launching a book, but is doing the third book. He is not just doing a book, but he is doing a book of 307 pages. He is not just doing a book, but it is a book that brings about integration and clear articulation of the challenges that are facing the Muslim youth and the modern youth. He is not just writing a book, but he is writing a book that addresses emerging issues. He is not just writing a book, but it's a book that combines many things. I read about quotes on Isaac Newton. I read about very popular politicians' quotes. But there is one that caught my eye, which is a quote by our own brother Nurdin when I scanned through the book. He says, "Be useful at your youthful age, for you might be useless at your awful age." That is in tandem with a very popular hadith that says 5 things before 5. Your youth is something that you will be asked before you age. Your free time before you get busy. Your wealth before you become poor. Your health before you become sick. So what our brother is really telling us is that this is the time that many of us, and I'm happy 70–80% of the people in the room are in that age bracket.
Any knowledge that remains in the mind will go with the honor. But now, when you put in writing, that's insurance that even after the honor goes, the knowledge remains. That is one. Secondly, the title is Youth and Truth, De-Westernizing the Mind. One thing I believe, and it is a reality, is de-westernizing the mind means the global youth minds are poisoned. Poisoned in the sense that all the best belongs to West.
Book, Youth and Truth, God willing, we are in 2024, in 1445. It means that the book will be there up to 2045 Hijriya and 3024 AD, if God preserve the book. So this is why in academia, we are told you publish or perish. So Brother Abdinoor, continue what you are going to do, but will allow me as a scholar and an editor of books. You know, the reason we are here is not only to read the book, but also to give views of what we see in the book. And you will allow to do that. If you allow me, I will go to page 11, where you quoted, good thing is you are not the one who said it, where Abdinoor Maalim, I know it's not him, he said, "Be useful in your youth, for you will be useless in your awful age." So what will happen is that I will encourage you, because I'm so sure books come with edition, you go and say that in your old age, you'll be slow a little bit. In old age, people are very, very wise, but they are very slow in walking. So I highly encourage each and everyone to read this book.
It's just that the truth is everything. The youth should know that. Whatever others think about, if you say the truth, you'll survive. Okay, in the religion, in our families, wherever we came from, what we are always told is that if you say the truth, you will survive. Somalia haitrada. That's what it means. If you don't say the truth, you are hiding lies somewhere else. So please, this is just a bigger major topic, but truth is everything.
I'm Saadia Ali Siad, a student from Mount Kenya University pursuing Bachelor's in Education Science and also a published author of 2 books. Today I attended this book launch to support my fellow writer, Abdinoor, and also to learn from the people who attended here. It was such an overwhelming moment that everyone was speaking about the power of truth, and I think I have a mindset change and my mind is kind of de-westernized as I live in this place today. It feels magnificent, if I say. It feels amazing to have such a book from a youth. It's one of the things that actually are challenging me as a writer, to see a youth writing. Okay, we have this belief that our youth cannot read, our youth do not know a lot about writing, but when you see someone who has written this big book with all this research and history and philosophies, you feel challenged as a youth. That is where I stand today as a youth, as a productive youth and as a writer. I feel so much challenged that yes, as much as we say youth are not there, as much as people think that the youth are not doing something constructive, the youth are still doing something. That is the belief that we should have from today, because Abdinoor proved us that he can write such a big book, such a book of such caliber, a book with such intensity, that we should not give up on our youth. We should still believe there is that percentage of youth who can do something if given the right opportunities and the right time.
Obviously, the book or whatever that you leave behind, it's an ibadah, and its benefit goes beyond the order of the book. It is sadaqatul jari. Is a piece of the book that will live long way behind even after you leave. You will be commemorated and remember the way we commemorate and remember the great scholars that we have. Especially the Muslim scholars, every other time we mention Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Quran, the Holy Quran, talks about great men and women, and as well as evil men and women, for a purpose. So Abdinoor, surely the history will record you for that. So many of us who Allah never gave the opportunity or the tawfiq to do what Abdinoor did, the day we die, people will mourn for 2-3 days and will forget us. But for Abdinoor, whenever anybody pull out his book, whoever comes after him, they will keep on remembering him, and whoever reads and benefits from these books, obviously he will earn a thawab and ajr in his grave.
I wanted this opportunity to congratulate and thank our son who has published this book. Today I've learned also something else. All along I was thinking that we have got very, very few authors within the community. We have penetrated every different sector in this country, but this field of authorship was one that I felt we were very, very weak. But alhamdulillah, today I've seen people say, I have written so many books, and I'm sure there are so many outside. But still, the gap is too big.
We want the title of the book, Youth and Truth, 2 critical aspects of the society. And then we point fingers to the Western community. When we point a finger to somebody, where are the other 4? To you, where are the Somali community? Where is the Somali community? Where is the Somali nation? How much is our culture in support of its own religion? Does it uphold the values the Western society is trying to imbibe into our youngsters? Or it's also worse. I myself did not read this book very well, but I had a scan, chapter by chapter. Just a scan, and I liked the methodology it used in trying to bring about the youth and trying to go down to virtuous aspects. The first defining youth, a very contentious issue. Who are the youth? According to the UN, you know how youth are being defined. Between age 18, 15. Who fixed this 18-year-old is a question. Very contentious. The fundamental rights and freedoms are entouched with age. Is this 18 obsolete? Is this 18 so in United States of America? If I may pick a contentious issue, the consent to sex, which is very immoral. But in this liberal world, according to United States, when you are 17, you have the consent. You can go for it. But in Kenya, you cannot. You'll be charged for a very serious crime, isn't it? Country to country, so there is an entire world of argument around which age is really youthful. But nevertheless, I think the best is as prescribed in the Holy Book. That should be our guide. So you're trying to bring a mix of a lot of things, ideology, cultures, morality, gender, so many things into the mix, to the United Nations definition, to try to define which age is really right for the youth. And I'm sure you have rightly quoted the Quranic verse, chapter 30, verse 54, which I believe is the epitome or the icing of all those definitions. You talked of physical aspects of qualifying youth and the emotional aspect. I have no problem with physical. Many youth are physically weak. The greatest danger to our youth is emotions. Emotions. If you are emotionally weak, you are unintelligent. So work on your emotions. Work on your emotions. IQ is actually not potent, but emotional intelligence is the most powerful thing.
Okay, my name is Abdinoor Maalim, and the event of today is a very watershed moment for me because I'm launching my third book, of course, which as entitled here, Youth and Truth, De-Westernizing the Mind. It's basically on the young people and how we can be able to navigate on an already contaminated world by the Western dogmatic ideologies and, of course, the Western hegemony. And I was very happy. It was attended by different scholars, Islamic scholars, and of course the lecturers and professors, and without forgetting business moguls and all these amazing faces in front of you. To express my pleasure today with any adjective of English, despite the fact that my specialization is English and literature, and I'm a linguist a bit, I cannot be able to describe it. I do not have any word that can measurably constitute what I'm feeling today, the kind of happiness I'm feeling today. And it's my wish, humble wish, that I will going to reach out to many readership in this country and by extension the globe.